Hello wild ones, and welcome to today's video. Today I wanted to take you through glimpses of my wild, free, green witchy life and share with you bits of my light work I practice through folk magic. I call my own version of this folk magic wild magic, which seems appropriate for, as you know, my name is Lena and I am the Wild Woodland Witch. So if you're curious to see this light work come alive, journey with me as I share some examples of how folk magic enlivens my life. And of course, my hope is that these findings inspire your own. Thanks for joining me here today, wild ones. Sit back and relax and keep on watching. We start with garlic, freshly picked and dried for a few days. To any farmer, this is just garlic, a delicious immune-boosting bulb. But to a folk magic practitioner, this is an opportunity to weave together a plant that possesses protection magic for home and hearth. My spell here is weave together with song or random incantations that come to me through the braiding. I didn't plan this spell for days. I just knew the garlic well enough to know that she will protect us, and thus the braiding began. Folk magic is ancient, rooted in history, passed down from father to son, mother to daughter. It is sometimes called practical magic, green magic, cottage, kitchen, meadow magic, nature magic, or forest magic. In the end, it is magic that comes through intuition and everyday items, deeds, or daily activities. The magic itself comes from the witch within, and this is why many folk practitioners don't even know they're witches at all. I myself spent years practicing this type of magic without feeling the need to call it magic at all. But as I look back on my own life, I see the dance of fairy dust, remnants left behind in its wake, and I can't help but laugh at the joy and synchronicity, the patterns and the numbers, the flow that my life followed with magic in my heart. I conjured a life full of witches' stories with folk magic, a life worth rejoicing. It feels so good to be able to claim this story as my own and say out loud, "Hello, I'm Lena, and I'm a green witch. I practice folk magic." Are you a witch in hiding? Are you a witch unseen? I suppose I am stirring the cauldron a little bit with these questions, and of course there is no reason to feel you must answer. But if you wish to, feel free to share how you will with yourself, your family, with us here, or put it on a shelf to visit another day. And let's craft a grounding spell together. I know for many it is hard to share the personal aspects of a spell in a public forum, but I want to try so you can see the folk magic within. Like many witches, I have a pot, a cauldron, a dish, a shell, a vessel, and this is my place to call magic in, to begin to manifest something anew. As a folk practitioner, I usually feel called into a spell. I don't cast a circle, I don't read from a master book, and while these are wonderful tools, I just don't feel I need them. And that is what's so great about being a witch. There is so much freedom to choose the kind of witch we want to be. There are so many ways to practice magic. This spell was inspired by garlic scapes. I was inspired by my own research with garlic with another green witch on Instagram, Lena, who I will link below. So in thinking about garlic and the scapes, I decided to use the protective power, and the true nature of a garlic bulb is to live underground, grounding. I have a need for this grounding. I want to settle into a nest, a home, a routine that is grounded and rooted. So the tools formed naturally. I found a nest, the roots of the garlic herself, and the roots of evening primrose were added too. The purpose of this example is not to share the actual spell itself for you to copy, although I will leave it below for you, but to see the power in spontaneous spell work, inspired by nature and the connections that one can make as a witch to what is already present around us. As I have been sharing, I've been harvesting from my herb garden. There is so much inspiration to find as I harvest and prepare things to dry, and that brings me to making this sun tea. I combined mint, cinnamon, dried nettles, lavender, and lemon balm. The lemon balm was a gift from another dear friend and fellow YouTuber, Haley. Thank you, my H sister. And I will share her channel below if you want to check her out as well. So we have a plan and we have a focus. We have our tools as a folk practitioner, but then we have things that are out of our control. In this case, weather. And instead of feeling challenged by the lack of the sun, I embrace the storm, the rain, the wind, the lightning, and infuse these forces into the tea as well. And in this living spell, you can see what I call wild magic. This flexibility allows for change to be welcome, for forces unplanned to pay a visit, and for the deep connections to form as a witch with the forces of nature herself. Inspired by the day's herb garden harvest, I called into action an herbal oil I have wanted to try and make. Let's make it together. Have you heard of a serum? I love a good face serum. This book has inspired many creations this year, and I will link it below. I crafted this original recipe as a start to a serum for bringing to the face an opportunity to tighten, strengthen, and glow. First, lavender, antimicrobial, great to prevent acne, and a hedge witch's favorite, as she aids in dream time. Lavender allows her sacred buds to dance at the wee end of a long, long stem in the trust of the wind. This inspires me to see her as a plant that can aid in eliminating fear and in working on building trust. There is so much to say here, but lavender is most welcome in this recipe. Then yarrow. I used both wild pink yarrow that happened to just grow in my front yard and my own grown yellow yarrow, with both leaves in the mixture. Yarrow can heal broken capillaries, and my witchy senses say she can do much more than that. Yarrow belongs to Venus, so she brings in a lovely amount of self-love. Then garlic scapes and green hot pepper both inspire blood flow. Pepper adds some spice of life love and garlic protection. Sweet thyme, anti-acne, full of vitamin C, and much more. This sweet low-ground plant is almost angelic in her flower bunches. There is an unconditional love there that I feel that she adds, so in she goes. Peppermint is anti-inflammatory and cooling in the body and outside the body. But as energetic medicine, she is enlivening, strong, joyful, and highly present. She belongs in this recipe too. The base is avocado oil, perfect for the face as it can be worn in the sun without damage to the skin. She promotes collagen production and is full of vitamin C. I added rose and chamomile in small amounts as well, inspired by a last-minute calling to them both. Both are divine in a serum, and both really bring up friendship to the self, as I think of them in different ways. Chamomile is more playful, and rose more deep soul forgiving healing, but play a role in self-love. While folk magic is not just plants, I may showcase more of this practical magic because I am additionally a green witch, so do keep that in mind. So let's make one last infused oil with a plant I have never found before that I plan to use in my salads when needed, evening primrose. I met her on a trip to Vermont and I kept her fresh in a brown bag with a cold bottled soda I bought just for the journey home. I didn't plan to find her. I didn't even know if it would be wise to work with her without researching first, but I trusted something wild magic requires. Trust in the flow of life, trust in my own intuition, trust that she came just as I needed her. While she is known for her seeds that make a powerful oil used to ease the symptoms of menopause, evening primrose also aids the nervous system. I researched her uses after she arrived back home with me. It is important to always research every plant used, learn alongside with books, and even the advice of your own herbalist, doctor, or midwife. So these are some folk magic inspired comings and goings of mine, and how I practice is my own, just like how you practice is your own. And while I call my magic wild magic and live a life as a green witch, in the end, I am just a human, living a life in nature, with a strong belief that life is better lived with magic weaved into every day. And so, my wild ones, I send you blessings to your magic, and come and find me again.